Hello, this is David from the Bookman in Orange, California, saying hello and welcoming you to my segment of things found in old books. And I have found some stuff this week, and I'd love to share it with you. And we're going to start off with trees. Now, something we find, I say we book dealers and other people possibly find in books quite often are pressed flowers and leaves and things like that. So I find a lot of that stuff, and sometimes I'll open the book and they'll just crumble right out. They're so old. Find an old rose or something in it, and you leave it in. I don't know what to do with them, but they're in the books. So I found this book called Trees, and what this particular person has done was get a book, and there's leaves on the page, and what they've done is inserted the leaf and leaves in the book. So this particular leaf, according to the book, is a balsam poplar leaf. Balsam poplar leaf. There you go. And it's found in, it looks like up in the north side of the U.S. So there we go. North. In the back here, a little further, we have your oak leaves. It looks like white oaks, according to the drawing here in the book, and the leaf itself looks like some white oak leaves right there in the book. And lastly, we got your maple leaf. Actually, a couple maple leaves, different style. Maple leaves, good. And there's a few more in there, but you get the idea. So, like I said, at least this tells you what the leaves are and why they're in the book. Oftentimes, I have no idea why the rose is in the book, except for some, it means something to them, so they put a rose in, but then it's forgotten. In this book, Asimov's Biographical Encyclopedia of Science and Technology, there was an article glued in to a piece of paper here, June 30th, 1969, by Robert Kirsch. And it's a report, an article about this particular book by Isaac Asimov. And so, that was interesting. But a little further down, a little further back here, was a pass to the Mardi Gras de Mexico at the Universal City Studios Entertainment Center, adult 12 and over for $2.50. Now, there's no date on this, but doing a little bit of research, the Universal out here in California opened in '69. I think the one in Florida opened a bit later in the '70s. And my guess is this is probably from the era of the book and the article, probably around '69. And it's in mint shape. I mean, it's like it's never, one was it put in the book, it never moved from the book. Gorgeous. I love the graphics on it, and I just love these old ticket stubs that bring us back in time to another day. Finally, well, not finally, I got a couple more here. We got The Emergence of Film, relatively common book. And in that book is, and many book dealers are going to come across these as well. It's the publisher sent this particular copy to Mr. Priest, editor and publisher of International Festivals. And so he's sending it to Mr. Priest for you to review the copy and send us any copies of your review and stuff like that. It's signed by the publisher. And so this book at one time was sent to somebody as a review copy. Also in the book, that really has nothing to do with this book, but I found it interesting because I'm very familiar with the book this is talking about. It's a press release for Buckminster Fuller. Buckminster Fuller, you come with a photograph to publish in your newspaper there, and it's a little press blurb talking about Buckminster Fuller's book, Operating Manual for Spaceship Earth, will be published April 28th, 1969 by the Southern Illinois University Press for $4.25. And then he talks about the geodesic dome and so forth. And so the book still is viable and still sells. And so there's a press release for Mr. Buckminster Fuller. I thought that was fascinating. It's in a film book. Who knew? And a little while ago, this came across my desk. I unfortunately, don't have the book to go with it. But what it is I hereby certify that on this 24th day, June 1924, in Maryland, Warren R. Nicholson and Helen Windsor were united in marriage in accordance with license by the clerk of the city court for Cecil County in the state of Maryland. So this is a 1924 marriage license in Maryland. Married in Maryland. Yeah, that's pretty neat. So there it is. A little while ago, somebody sent me something on the eBookman, oldbook.com, of a thing that they had found in a book, and I'd like to share that with you. We'll include pictures, and I'll read a little bit of the letter that was sent to me. I'll share with you. It's from Patricia Bishop of Blue Note Vintage. So thank you, Patricia. I really very grateful for you sending this to me. It says, "Hello, David. I joined the Rare Book Cafe on Saturdays and have enjoyed your segment on things found in old books. I would like to share with you, and if you judge worthy, you sharing this find in your segment. I'd be glad to. Thank you. The Clip newspaper article, Financing New Freedom, is not dated. However, it does mention the 63rd Congress, which was from 1913 to 1915. It does mention 12 days after the start of the 63rd Congress, which would have been March 16th, 1913. The last line, the new freedom evidently comes high, but if we must have it, we have got to pay for it. Seems it is still true. The book that was found in is The Scholar and the State and Other Orations and Addresses by Henry C. Potter, Bishop of New York, edition 1898. The more interesting, however, is that the owner of the book, Alva Adams, 1850 to 1922, the book is from his library. See the book plate. Adams, a Democrat, was elected the 5th governor of Colorado, 1887 to 1889, again elected 1897 to 1899. But his last run for office of governor in 1905 was short-lived. January 10th, 05 to March 16th, 05. March 17th, 05 is known as the day Colorado had 3 governors. And she goes on to detail why Colorado had 3 governors on that day. That's a little lengthy. And so what we'll do is we'll include the article in the show notes for you to read if you're interested in why Colorado had 3 governors on one day. It's actually quite interesting. You should give it a read. And I want to thank you again for sending that in. That was very kind. And I hope other people really, take the time to send me anything that they find in a used book. I'd love to share it here on this segment. And send me pictures and descriptions of what you find at oldbook at ebookman.com. Oldbook at ebookman.com. And I'll share it. It'll be my pleasure. And I want to thank you for stopping by today. And I look forward to seeing you next week. That's all I have. This is David from the Bookman in Orange saying goodbye.